What up? What up? This Steph G,
And this is Nika T.
and this is
His, hers, and the truth podcast.
podcast.
How you just leave me hanging?
You know what? My mind forgets stuff too. Sometimes when we take a small break, you know,
You ain't forgot a
things be
damn thing. I don't
things
stuff
be
about
a little
that.
delayed, man.
All right, man.
How you
Whatever.
been?
You know,
How's life going for you?
I've been tired. Just
Like,
tired. Like,
fed up,
hey
tired.
fam, no, like sleepy tired. Like, I remember one day I went to bed. It was about 7:30.
I haven't did that since I
I
was a
was like,
kid.
hey, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't think about me, cause if you think about me, I'ma feel it, and it's gonna irritate my sleep. Just don't.
How did it feel going to bed that early?
Lovely.
You ain't wake up early or nothing? I know you say you wake up at like
I mean, I'm up at 5:30 anyway.
well, mm-mm. If I go to bed at 7, I gotta be sick. I gotta be sick. I gotta be tired, sick and tired,
I might have been
drained.
sick.
Probably, I don't
Might have
doubt it.
been.
But the last time I went to bed at 7, I was like Ja age. Up until like 10, maybe.
I don't know what to say.
You
I
need to
just know
stay up
that there
more.
was some good. Nah, fuck that.
You need to stay up
I'm
more.
getting all the damn
I'm
rest I can get.
gonna start calling you. I'm gonna
No,
start
you
calling. Yes,
not.
I am.
No, you not.
Ring, ring.
You don't even like talking on the phone. You're not gonna call me.
Hey, what's wrong with that
And
though?
you know, I'll leave my phone on vibrate.
What's wrong with not liking to talk on the phone?
Ain't shit wrong with it. I'd rather a motherfucker text me. I don't want to sit and hold no damn phone.
Because I don't think people understand, like why certain people probably don't like talking on the phone. It's because,
I don't be having shit interesting to talk about.
and it don't even be that. It just be like, I just be doing other stuff or I just want some me time.
I
You
mean,
know,
that's what it is for me. I just don't have interesting shit to talk. I mean, I just be wanting me time. I be wanting to be left the fuck alone. And with text messages, I can respond back to you whenever I feel like
whenever.
responding back to you. But
And then you
like,
get time to think over text messages, but like, what that person mean by this?
my daddy called me the other night, and it was about 9 o'clock, 9 something at night. Nigga calling me.
That's why you fucked up.
Baby, what you doing? Man, I'm about to go to bed, daddy. Like, fam,
Hmm.
this is past my bedtime. No, it ain't time to go to bed yet. And he is really on the phone talking to me. He telling me about his surgeries that he got to have, which I'm glad he let me know about that. But he talking to me about the dogs and the horses and I was just like, bro,
I
I'm
don't give
trying
a
to go to
fuck.
bed. Like, I kept saying, like, every 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, dad, I'm about to go ahead and get off of here so I can go to bed. And he just really holding me on the phone, fam. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my dad, but he
How
be
how often do you think you talk to your dad?
not often enough. I would say probably
In a month's time, how often do you think?
1 to 2 times a month.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't talk to him often enough.
Do you think you
He's
should?
yeah, I feel like I should more. He told me the other night when he called, he was like, "We need to have daddy, daughter, and granddaughter day." Cause I used to like go to his house on the weekends. Like I would take Ja to his house on the weekends, and we just hang out. Me and him probably drink a few beers together and chop it up, listen to some music. He'll hop on the grill or some shit. Like my daddy don't care what type of weather it is.
He
That
gonna
motherfucker
grill.
down the grill. He don't give a shit what type of weather it is. It can be raining outside. Oh, I'm throw something on the grill as soon as it let up. Fam.
That sound like my dad, cause he called me over there this past weekend, and he was grilling,
Yeah.
and I was too a little bit. But yeah, man, I think you know what I think. Spending time with your folks, your your parents is vital because
Right.
it's like you kind of map out how you might want your child to treat you when you get older.
Right.
Cause I know Skylar, she be asking about her granddaddy, both papaws and
Like
both grandmas.
me and my dad, we ain't always have a close relationship. Like he's been that type of dad where sometimes he'll be like, "Well, I'm coming to get you," and then he didn't show up. Shit
Oh,
like that. So into my adult age, it was just really like my mom has always encouraged my relationship with my dad. Like that's the one thing I can say. She ain't never
Mhm.
tried to like keep me and my dad apart or nothing like that. But as I became an adult, she was like, "You really need to spend time with your dad and stuff like that." And I really started spending more time with him as an adult when I had Josh. She was really the catalyst for me saying, "Okay, I'm gonna go hang out with him more," because I wanted him to be a part of her life. You know,
Right.
it wasn't necessarily about my relationship with him. Although it's, we've developed a better relationship. We have our own little thing that we have going on. Like I said, me and him we'll throw a few beers back together, laugh, talk shit about my mama, shit like that. I mean,
That
we
sound
have our
about
good
right.
moments. We'll go ride the horses together and shit like
Cause
that.
you'll get different perspectives from each
Yeah.
parent from each parent. Have like, well, your daddy or your mama, and
Yeah.
be like, well, at the end of the day, you just tell me, and I just move
And
on
like
with it.
neither one of my parents ever like while I was a kid, neither one of them ever just voiced their opinions about each other to me so
Yeah,
that I could form my own opinion about my parents myself, which I appreciate that about that, but yeah, I'm going to go hang out with the old man. His birthday actually getting ready to come up next week.
what you gonna get them?
Nothing.
You can get them. You can give them a 12 pack.
Man, I'm calling and be like, happy birthday. He want me to come over next weekend, so I'll probably go over there next weekend and
That's what
hang
I'm
out with him.
saying. You go over there, take Jai,
Yeah, we'll go over
take a
there.
12 pack,
I ain't taking no 12 pack.
about a 6.
I ain't taking that. You know what? No, I ain't. I'd rather him like right now I'm doing sobriety. So I can deal with my dad when he's sober. But if my daddy drinking, I need to be drinking too in order to deal with him. Cause
Oh,
he can be a lot sometimes when he got a couple of beers in him. Not saying he like no bad dude or nothing, but he just get goofier.
I'm just saying, what if he probably already got some?
Man,
You might have to
I'm
put a
confident he
disclaimer and say,
do.
hey, let's have a sober conversation.
Man, that listen, catching my daddy
Did he come
sober.
on for that Juneteenth day? When did I see him?
No, Ja's birthday.
John's
The
birthday.
year she had the dragon and not the dragon, the dinosaur and the
Dinosaur
unicorn.
unicorn.
Yeah, he was the one that was grilling that day.
Okay.
Yeah. No, if he had been there for Juneteenth, you wouldn't have had the grill.
Yeah, that's crazy. Your mom was sitting there like, y'all leaving? I'm tired. I did not come over here to do
I,
that.
I, I couldn't even be mad at you, bro. I was like, man, I feel so horrible. But that's beside the point. That's neither here nor there. How you been doing, man?
I've been fine, man. Just probably job searching. Probably have to, find me another endeavor part time. Uh,
That's what's
I
up.
really be having
I mean,
a
sometimes it's
steady.
always
My life is steady. It's steady and routine.
maybe the routine needed to be shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I know I need to get back to
You
working
got
with
some
my
oil in your hair? Or is you sweating? It's hot in my
probably
house.
both. You don't cut the air on. You don't know, but I do got some oil in my beard glistening.
I was looking at the hair on top of
I,
your
I
head. I
asked about the
wasn't
beard
looking
though.
at your beard.
I asked about the
I
beard.
don't give no shits about your beard. I see that gray popping.
That gray gon'
Yeah,
pop,
that
boy.
gray popping.
That salt popping, boy. That salt
Shit.
crazy. Oh, nah, I
Old
think
man
I think I'm
vibes.
gonna let my hair grow out for a little bit and just get it shaped up.
I'm letting mine grow back out. I ain't gonna cut it
I mean, might
for a
as well.
while.
It's like you got nigga hair, but you don't.
Facts.
It's like in the front of it is nigga hair.
Like, you know what's so weird about my hair?
What?
My hair texture is very similar to Jamal's hair texture, to how his hair texture was. And my mama just found it real funny because, like, his hair used to curl up like this or whatever whenever it was growing out. But, like, if we kept it cut and took care of it, waves be popping. But the back of his head was, like, real kunta-ish.
Oh man, nah. My shit be curly, man, all over. I think, but the salt and pepper, the salt be like real straight, and I don't like that.
It's, like, real coarse. It's tougher than the...
Yeah, I don't like that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's alright. I mean, I think that's just what gray hair is. Cause like with my mom's hair, and her locks, her gray is a lot tougher than the
Really.
rest of her hair. Everything else is a lot softer. So I'm thinking that it's just
Maybe I should think of a beard oil to make it a little curly, a little thinner. I mean, a little softer and with a twist.
maybe.
It's a new in there. Oh, I'm tell you, I had came up with this idea. It was
Don't put it on the
Oh,
pod.
okay, you right, you right, you right,
Don't
you
be
right.
telling everybody all your plans.
But it's a virtual reality game. I'm gonna tell you about it later.
Bet.
So let's get to it. Let's get to some stuff that we're gonna talk about,
All
man.
right.
Where you wanna start? Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Pick.
I mean, let's start with the hottest topic that's floating around.
Jada.
Bro,
Jada.
let me just say this first before we even get into it. When you had sent me the link, I know my immediate response was, I'm going to check it out because at this point, I'm getting tired of defending sis. Like, bro, because it just seemed like every time I turn around, Jada is back in the news
About something.
about something. But with that being said, what's your thoughts on the entire discussion?
Well, I enjoyed the entire discussion. I enjoyed the fact that they were able to dive into their understandings of sex, their understandings of accountability within that, their understandings of, you know, how did they learn and whatnot. I really didn't care for the Willow part because I still look at Willow
As
a
a little
certain.
kid, I
Yeah,
whip
and then
my
she
hair
said, and
back
then
and
she
forth.
said
I
she's
whip my
21. I
hair.
said, damn.
Yeah, Willow grown.
I said, yeah. I at least thought she might have been a
Like,
little
yeah,
older.
when I see Willow, I still picture that little girl that came out with that.
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. So, but yeah, and then when she just explained how it pertained to her marriage, it's like, okay, you're probably able to help somebody who's been in a similar long term relationship, marriage, or something like the partnership or whatever, to help them understand that you're not the only ones that might have some issues, or
right,
this is something that goes on with a lot of
right.
couples. And so when she was just explaining how it's in a nutshell, it's a constant teaching. I would say teaching moments
Yeah,
within each other's intimacy. It's like we hear about that, but we don't ever see somebody
people
who's
who's openly
ex-
discussing it.
yeah, and then people who what I'm saying it is like them. You would think that it just seems like on the public aspect that they have it together. Well, at one
Right,
point, it seemed like that they were good, that they understood each other. That they had some type of connection that just
right.
seemed rare. But when she was just talking, she was just like, yeah, you expect for your partner who's known you a long time to know what to do for you, and
Right.
now it's just sometimes you might
Well,
have
and
to.
even well, go ahead, finish what you
I
say.
would say you might have to teach them again, and
Right.
then not only that, you might be discovering something new for yourself.
Exactly. And then even in that, like she wasn't even necessarily speaking on the aspect of her right now. She was speaking on the aspect of her in the past because even in the interview she stated, I've grown past that point of feeling like if you love me, then you should know what I need in the bedroom.
Right.
Like her mindset was this is who I was in the past. And I feel like a lot of times we sit and we talk about people want to sit and make those posts and statuses and be like, well, marriage is hard work, relationships is hard work, blase blase. But when you got somebody that's on a platform, and I know a lot of people is like, well, everything that goes on in their life shouldn't be in public or on a public platform. Number one, they celebrities. Even if they didn't voluntarily provide that information,
Somebody.
somebody is gonna get inside they information and expose them anyways. Why? Because we are a people that is so obsessed with everybody else's business. That's number
Mm-hmm.
one. But even with that being said, you have somebody that is, like you said, somebody on that level, a celebrity saying, "Hey, even I've had struggles with this as well. Even
Mm-hmm.
I know." And I mean, her mom even said, with her and her husband, they've been married what, 5 years, she
Five
said.
years.
And she was like, and discussing sex still feels weird to her.
Yeah.
Even though they can talk about everything, still discussing sex feels weird. And for a lot of black women, in like discussing sex, like openly having conversations about sex, has been very taboo. So now to have her come out and be like, well, yeah, at one point, and I just sent you a post earlier today where where somebody asked, if you really feeling this person, why can't you teach them, what it is that you like? And a lot of people was in that post saying, well, if you really got a connection with somebody, then that connection, they automatically gonna know the right things to do. It's gonna feel good, blase blase. But bro, everybody's needs are different.
Right.
And in order for somebody to know your needs, you got to tell them. And her point was, my part in accountability is listening to what he's saying and providing for his needs. But I also have to be open and willing to tell him exactly what it is that I want. We all
Right.
know at this point that Will and Jada had an open relationship. So, with having an open relationship, and me and Jackie was discussing this on her post earlier. She made the statement, when you allowing other people into your relationships, you learning something different from that person. You know what I'm saying? And from that person, you might decide, oh well, I ain't never had that before. I find pleasure in that. Now you do have to go to your primary mate and say, hey, I realize this is something that I like. This is now what I want. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And apparently they relationship work however it worked, but I think people for the most part blew what she said completely out of proportion.
Yeah. I'll say this: the memes and everything for it,
They funny as
they
shit.
funny as
I'm not
hell.
gonna lie, they funny. They are hilarious.
I've shared a couple, and I got a couple more I'm gonna share. Uh, yeah. Anyway, but
They
yeah,
funny.
I think the thing is, what is the disconnect between Jada? I mean, Jada's mom, and I wish I knew her name so I could actually say her
Gwyneth
name.
Paltrow.
Her name is Gwyneth.
Oh, you talking about Jada's mom?
Jada's mom.
Oh,
It's some
Adrian.
Adrian something.
Yeah,
Is it Baldwin?
Miss Adrian. We're just gonna call her Miss
No.
Adrian.
Well, her and Jada, it's like, how are you able to? And I understand this is your child, but how are you able to speak about sex with your child, and then the person who you have a deeper level of connection with is kind of hard. It's like, what is it that
I'm
isn't
gonna
connecting?
I'm gonna say it like this. Um, with me and my mom, I don't know how my mom and my brother's relationship really works. I don't know if my brother really goes to my mom and discuss his sex life with her.
Hmm.
But for me and my mother, discussing my sex life is something that is a little easier. One, because she's a woman. So a lot of what I felt and a lot of what I want to feel or the thoughts that I'm having, it's a great chance that she's experienced that already. But when it comes to sitting down and having, I don't think it's necessarily just a parent child situation, it's a mother daughter situation. Because
What's the
if
difference
if
between
it were,
parent child situation?
I mean,
A woman
because
to woman situation?
woman to woman. It's not like a mother and a son or a daughter and a father. It's that woman to woman. This is where I can completely relate to my mother on. And even in that discussion that they were like, had it been a few years back before we even started Red Table, we never would have had this conversation.
Mm.
So it's not just well, we're okay with doing it now. It's a process for them to even get to that point. It took a while for me and my mom to get to a place where we were able to openly, or at least I was able to openly communicate with her about sex. But when it comes to me and my partner, again, sexuality has been very taboo for a very long time. It has been where there has been a mindset of the woman is supposed to please the man. The woman is supposed to please the man. And whether you feel like it has been or not, in a lot of instances, women have been taught and trained that you are supposed to please a man. The difference in what I was raised is that my mama always told me, you make sure you get yours first. She's always told me that. But for a very long time in society, it was the woman's job is to please the man in the bedroom.
I'll
So
give you to the 90s. I'll give you to the 90s.
so for a while
So yeah.
it was very taboo, like, still, it was very like one of those things where you just don't really go to your man and tell him, oh, well, I need you to do this or I need you to do that for me sexually, because
You just lie to your friends and say, girl, he did that.
I mean, sometimes motherfuckers wouldn't even lie. Your homegirl is who you go to as your confidant and be like, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. Like, it's
like on the like on
surprisingly,
Nutty Professor when they talk about it.
surprisingly, it's a lot of women that aren't getting orgasms out here.
It's not
It's
surprising if you listen. I guess
I
I guess the
mean,
problem is
people don't listen.
Cause it's not surprising here when people say, "Well, women not orgasming," and then it's like, all right, then you go to another breakdown of, okay, do you know what it, like they said on the Red Table Talk? Do you know what that looks like, or
Right.
do you have an idea what it feels like? And when you don't, it's like, all right, how do you know how to make yourself get there? Some people, even though
Right.
some people don't believe in masturbating or nothing like that, it's just you got to know what you want to feel.
Exactly.
And I've always felt like that. I've always,
I mean, it's like I just think, one, we do kind of have to get to a place where we break down those barriers, especially when it comes down to significant others. You kind of got to get to a place like, if this the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you talking about, oh, well, this my best friend, blase blase, like, there's practically nothing that I don't tell my best friends. Like, I feel like you and Kamara know almost everything there is to know about me. So when it comes to that, it's like, if my partner is my best friend, then I should be able to open up to them and tell them everything that I want, everything that I need, everything that I desire, without fear of judgment or anything like that. And if your partner is judging you based off of what it is that you want or what you need, then that's not the person for you. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, I mean,
All right, so I don't mean to cut you off, but I do have a question. So
yeah.
when people start, or women start saying, half of y'all don't even know how to make a woman come, what is supposed to follow after that? Like, you're not trying to help the actual situation that's
Yeah, because
going on.
a lot of women will sit and say, "I don't have time to teach a man how to please me," but you can't sit and complain about that shit.
And then you can't
Like,
have. I don't think you can have a good lengthy longevity relationship because that's gonna change. The things that you like are gonna change.
it's gonna change. Like, as you change, as you evolve into a different person, your needs and your wants change. I mean, who you are, like, your guiding principles generally remain the same over time, but as you evolve, there are different things that make you tick. And that's just with anybody. Like, I read somewhere where somebody said every single year of marriage, you are with a new individual. That person has changed because within that last 365, that person has gone through so many things to where it has molded and shaped them into a completely different person. Whether
Yeah.
it's, I went from, whether the woman went from a full-time student to now running her own business, to now being a mother, to now being, whatever else. It's like you're dealing with a different person each time, and as you're dealing with that person, I mean, your needs gonna change. I feel like the frustration a lot of women have with not wanting to teach men is that they don't know themselves. I
You
could
know,
be wrong. I could be
either
wrong.
that or they don't have the patience to actually guide. So the one thing it kind of goes back to is understanding leading, because you talk about you want a man to lead, but then it's like, all right, now I'm putting you in this position to where now
Right.
you see how leading actually affects somebody.
Right.
You know, it's very, you have to be very patient. You have to be very understanding. You have to be very you have to be very specific with
Right.
the the words that you're
Especially
saying to
with men.
somebody. Yeah,
Especially with men because it's like the specificity of it.
that's the word.
It is.
I'll take your word for
I bet you will. Um, it comes down to the fact that when a man gets specific instructions, they know exactly what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Most of the time, when a man gets specific instructions, he gonna follow them instructions every single time. He's not going to stray from that book. And the reason why I know that is because I've always been taught that a man is oftentimes ruled by order. Like men, most men do like to be organized. They might not have a lot of shit organized themselves, but if they're given the rule book, if they given the playbook, and a motherfucker give you the cheat code, god damn it, y'all gonna use that shit. And y'all gonna use it every time.
I
And
mean,
most of the time you ain't gonna stray from it.
yeah, it's like, all right, you're telling me what it is to get you happy, whether it be, if we're talking about to get to the finish line, or we talking about just through the journey of everything, it's keeping you happy. All right, so let's do this, and along the way of that journey, it's gonna be like, what else am I going to discover? And so that's the thing that we as men have to be able to receive. Also, it's like, hey, you can receive this instruction, and it's going to be okay. There's no need to
Right.
feel less of a man, or
That's what I was just about to ask you. Like if men were capable, like if they were capable of receiving that instruction without allowing ego to get in the way. I mean, I know I've met men that one thing about some men is that they're pleasers. They like to please their women. So they want to know what it's going to take. You know what I'm
I'll tell
saying?
you how it can help with some certain people is by having a liking to certain music and the lyrics within that music. Let's take Kevin Gates for example.
Right.
He recently had an interview, uh, and he was just basically discussing how he liked to be a pleaser in his music.
Right.
And so some of those lyrics, it was like, I mean, everybody picked up on the whole eating booty thing, right? But then some niggas is like, shit, I mean, I guess women do like that. And then you start talking to your girl about it, then you start to find out that she do
Right.
like it. And so it was like, all right, I'm hearing the music. The music is making her feel some type of way. And now it's like, all right, I probably need to try to do that.
So is it like one of them things where sometimes you have to hear things from a third party in order for it to really just like click?
Yeah, second or third party. I got a homeboy who did not eat pussy until he found out I did. You know him. So, yeah, you know him. But, you know what I'm saying? It was
You
just,
could have left that part out because now I'm
well,
wondering
it's
like which one of you niggas is that childish?
I mean, it was back. Of course, it was back in the day when
Oh,
we was
okay.
kids. No, this is back in the day.
Okay.
This is like
I
ninth
thought
grade.
I thought we was talking about a grown ass man
No, 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 no,
talking
no.
about they don't eat but which I mean I understand there are some men that still say that, but that's childish as fuck, especially if you want your dick sucked. Just my
Yeah,
personal opinion.
but yeah. I mean, yeah. It's second or third party people that have to, uh, give somebody the courage to do something, and it's nothing wrong with that because you still utilize those same tactics with other things in your life. So
Right.
I mean,
I think that's valid.
but I think for me, I didn't mind to dive into the things that you like about sex with my partner. I think I stopped worrying about that. Man, it had to be like 21. Yeah, 21, 22. I had started to be like, all right, fuck this. What is it that you like? Or I would listen to how do I want to say it? I basically just pay attention to
Right.
her body, and so the thing is, all right, once you start to do that, you start to be able to relieve some stress off of yourself to make sure that your partner is completely satisfied. Because you know the points, the pressure points to get to where you want to be. Now you can just prolong the journey and find out other different things about that person before you get there.
Right. I feel that. I mean, I think like for me, I don't think I've ever been shy about talking about like what pleases me. I mean, I'm not really like that big on sex. Like I've never really been that much of a sexual person, but whenever I like with my sex partners, I would always ask them like, "Hey, what is it that you like?" Because I'm one of them type of people where because I know that I'm not as into sex as most people, my my abilities might not be where a lot of people will want them to be. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Like I'm not the most confident head giver. Like I don't think that my head is any good. Somebody might have a
Somebody might
difference
say
of
it's poo
opinion.
trash.
I mean, they might. Somebody might say that shit fire. I don't know. I'm not that confident in my abilities of giving head. However, I still want to know what I can do better. And if I'm not doing a good job at it, like in that moment, teach me what
Right.
it is that you want because my goal should be the same goal as you. And in a lot of cases, like when I ask those questions, it usually opens the door up for him to reiterate that question to me like, hey, okay, now we've discussed me. What is it that you enjoy? What is it that you want? What do you need? So I mean, I think people should stop bullshitting themselves. Like conversation rule the nation. Just have a conversation. Stop giving motherfuckers them pity moans and shit like that. If the shit not good, booing that motherfucker's ear. No, I'm
Whisper,
just playing.
nah,
I'm
they be
just
like,
playing.
boo.
I'm just playing. Don't boo, but
That nigga gonna trip.
like
You
gently
know what?
guide
But
him
but
in the
no,
right
I would say
direction.
this at this point in this time frame of life, men have to learn to not be. Men have to learn how to be okay with hearing about the type of sex that they give somebody. That shouldn't fuck up your pride that
Man, that
bad.
fucks up people pride like a motherfucker.
It should be like, you know what, hey, you weren't that great, but I'm pretty sure you might have been great to somebody else. And then you just be like, all right,
But this is the question. When people say you weren't that great, do they go into a conversation of
what's
why it wasn't great? Like, was it like a we started doing it and the emotional connection just wasn't there for me, or is it a because I know
it
some
was a
people are
shutdown conversation.
emotional. Yeah, like some people are kind of they they have sex with their emotions versus just with their physical. I know some people are more physical than emotional. I know some people like to
I mean,
have a combination.
but that's
So
the
like,
thing. You have to understand that
can that be like
every partner is gonna be different,
right?
and
But can it
so
be fixed in either of those situations? Like, if let's say it was a lack of an emotional connection, it after and with sex, after sex, is it one of those things where you like, okay, well, emotionally, I ain't in it no more, so now we need to go our separate ways. But like with physical, well, physically, it just wasn't satisfying. Maybe we need to try it again, but let me give you a few pointers. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, it's simply you should ask, do we need to work on this or are we done? I know it kind of sounds easy, but it's just like, all right, do I need to listen to you explain to me how I can be better, or just know that you probably need to take your time better with somebody else next time? Because I mean, it's some women don't want to further along the conversation because it's like, all right, I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Even
and you
if
ain't gotta hurt nobody's feelings in order to
I
tell
mean,
them the
but
truth.
even if you're not intentionally trying to hurt anybody's feelings, when you start going down probably a list of shit that you could have been better at, it's like, damn, that's kind of messed up. But it's like, if you want to actually learn better and do better, I'm going to tell you what I didn't like,
Right.
and what you need to pay attention to your next partner or with me next time.
Right.
So then you just have to understand: is it gonna be a redeemable situation? Do I get some redemption, or is it just hey,
We
it's all
done
good? And
appreciate it, but we going our separate ways.
and mm, when it
What y'all think?
when it was bad, I know.
I mean, I've had not so good sex.
I'm saying like it's like
I
you
mean,
kind of be off it, but then it's like, all right, let me give you one more shot. And I think that's the thing with men. Men are able to be like, I mean, I give you one
I've
more
been
shot
like that with a dude or two before.
or five. Continue, continue, keep going,
You
man.
just gonna be a whole ass nigga right now, right? That's what you gonna do.
I thought you were gonna keep going. You said or two, and I was just gonna
No,
just hit the
no.
minimum.
You just
I'm
you
messing
just
with
a
you. I'm messing with
whole
you.
ass nigga, man. Anyways, I'm just saying, like, I didn't try to, you know, give dudes another go, had a conversation, hey, try this the next time, let's do this the next time, you know. I mean, and then I done had some dudes where I'm just like, yeah, shit was trash. I'm done.
But okay, did you go into detail with them? Did you initiate a chance to go into detail with them, or did you just let them go?
I just let them
Not even
go.
for a second chance, just to explain
I just let them go.
why.
Nah, I just let them go.
But
It wasn't a, it wasn't, it was kind of the situation of I felt like their ego couldn't handle me telling them, hey, the sex wasn't any good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And like I think it was more of a safety thing for me. It was like, okay, your ego really don't seem like you can handle that type of honesty right now. So
just let you go.
I'm just gonna let you go. I'm gonna have to cut you from the team. I appreciate you for trying out.
It needs to be like, okay,
Man,
fuck it, fuck it.
so hey. But yeah, that is what it is.
So I mean, what do you think? How do we bridge the gap in a nutshell? Pun intended.
I think first men have to take put their egos to the side, put their pride to the side in order to be receptive. And I know I hate that I feel like I have to say this on every episode. I know this is not all men. And I know this is not all women. We know this. But I feel like men have to put their pride and their ego to the side to be receptive of what's needed. But also, I feel like women have to actually be more confident to say, this is what I need.
Yeah.
Because I honestly don't think it's always a fact of I'm going to hurt your feelings. It's a lot of time it's number one, women not knowing what it is exactly that they want. Number two, if they know what they want, they don't know how to articulate it to someone else. Like,
Mhm.
and even if you don't know how to articulate it to somebody else, bro, I've been in relationships where if I couldn't tell the person how I wanted it, like I'm gonna lay there and I'm gonna show you how I want it. I'm gonna show you how to please me because if I gotta get through to you some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And if you somebody that's actually wanting to learn, then I'm gonna do my best to show you whatever it is that you need to learn.
Right.
So I feel like the pride got to be put to the side, and I feel like the confidence got to be picked up a little bit by the women for them to be able to say, "Hey, this is what I need."
Okay. Okay. For me, I agree. I think I think just being able to, if you're gonna engage in sex with anybody, just be able to be comfortable with yourself. You already got naked. You already reached
Pardon me, y'all.
one of the maximum points. It's like, all right, the next one is to listen. You
Right.
can get naked now. Open your ears. You can open your legs, open your ears up, and then figure out what it is that your person wants, or pay attention to in the moment as well.
In other words, you got to be naked in more ways than one.
Yeah, man. You gotta just be willing to adapt.
It's vulnerability,
Yeah, yeah.
and a lot of people nowadays don't like being vulnerable.
Shit, men never liked being vulnerable.
Women don't like being vulnerable now.
Mm,
But
yeah.
yeah, all right, good part of the discussion. Moving on to the
Uh,
next.
let's
I
see.
guess we can discuss a dude that left his wife and 4 kids
Willie. Willie.
making the band.
Is it Willie? What's the last name? Davis?
I don't know.
Let me see. Anyway, Willie from
Day
Day
26.
26. He uh and his wife had broke up because he needed a mental health break. He said he needed to leave his family for a little while to make sure he didn't, you know, I don't want to say kill himself because he didn't say that, but he said he didn't want to die. And so I know we've seen over the years, people kill themselves because of their mental health, and it's like we now are promoting so much mental health for men, especially black men. It's like, all right, to the to the extent of, it's like if you have to take some extreme precautions to make sure that you're okay, we believe that you should take them.
Yeah.
And so he did that. And so my question to you is, what do you think was the right or wrong way that he approached the situation?
I'm torn on it. And the reason that I'm torn on it is because I don't know exactly what their relationship was like, him and the wife. I don't know exactly what their relationship was like. And if their relationship, and don't get me wrong, I'm never in favor of anybody just leaving a woman to take care of all the kids. But I will say that only the man has that luxury. Only the fathers have that luxury to say, okay, I'm about to pack up and leave. Because just because you needed that mental health break,
I can
you
drop some
disagree?
I can drop some names that's been able to say, "Hey, ma, take care of my kid for me. I'm gonna go over here and build myself up for a while." And I got some names that says, "Hey, you keep our kids. I gotta go take care of me." But I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish. I just want you to know
Like
that
asking someone else to take care of their
I
kids?
know them. Yes.
I'm no. What I am saying is when it comes to fathers and mothers, yes, a mother does have the opportunity to say, hey, I need to take care of myself, but they have to find another individual. It's never them being able to go to the father and just leaving the kid with the daddy. I have
The
never seen
father
it.
has all three kids in his house, and she is in another state. Another one is in another state, and the child is with the father. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish, though. I'm just saying.
Hey,
I know you probably haven't seen it,
are
and
are
that's
we are
okay.
we are we in a situation where we
No,
got
we
to
we
bring up the
pod.
faults of the other person of the
No,
other
we
sex in
podding.
order to
We
make the
podding.
point?
We podding. So I'm letting you keep going.
I mean, I know, but see,
But when you
you done
said
brought
when
up.
you said there isn't, even though it is, I still, I
Okay,
was just
so
letting you get. I was letting you go off.
majority of the time,
Go
since I
off,
gotta be
sis.
more
Go
specific
off,
with
sis.
you, like I gotta be specific
Go
with
off,
all of the people
sis.
that be listening and viewing.
Go off, sis.
Majority of the time, it is the fathers who have the luxury of walking away from the children. It is not the mothers who have that luxury. So, with that being said, I don't necessarily agree with him leaving her and the kids, and I understand that he's still been keeping in touch with the kids. He's sending her money, whatever he, whatever it may be. But at the same time, it's nothing like the presence
of a parent.
of a parent. It is nothing like the presence. And with that, you could have, even if you felt like you couldn't talk to her rationally about whatever was going on, at that point, you need to now be an adult about the situation and say, hey, okay, I need to put the proper things in place. And I understand your mental health is at risk. But even for me, I've had moments like when I was worried about postpartum with Ja, I told my mom, I was like, if I fought, because I've suffered with depression, you know what I'm saying? So I told her, I was like, hey, if I fall into postpartum, if depression strikes me after I had this baby, take her, take her, make sure she's straight. That way I can get situated.
Mhm.
But I was even in, even in your mess, you can still be able to actually make the appropriate preparations for your children. And as a father, I feel like he should have been like, he could have gone to a lawyer, he could have gone to a counselor, anything, and said, hey, I need a break from this life that I'm living right now, but I want to still be present for my kids. I want to still, whatever the case may be. You didn't have to like move as far away from them as you did. None of
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when it comes down to protecting his mental health, if their relationship was that toxic to the point where he had to say, okay, I can't do it. I feel like my life is in danger because number one, of course, we don't know what he meant by he didn't want to die, but stress can kill you. You know what I'm saying? If you depressed or you have high anxiety or whatever, you could consider, you can consider suicide, things of that nature. Like, so when it comes down to it, I'm all for a man protecting his mental health and taking care of his mental health. I'm all for that. However, when you become a parent, even in your dismay, even in your issues and your problems, you still have to do what's in the best interest of your kids. And walking away from your children, whether you are walking away from a toxic relationship or not, walking away from your children is not in the best interest of your children.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he should have probably, and we don't know if he did or didn't. Took a few more steps in trying to be to try to make sure that you're present, even during the break. Uh, I feel like the way that you made a post on social media, is kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like I want to tell you what you should have done, but also it's like I ain't trying to tell you. But I'm not finna be going around posting. I mean, posing for pictures and posting them like everything is all good,
Right,
or just trying to get my fans an update. It's like, let me update my family with how I'm doing, how I'm feeling.
right.
And I just think, if you need that much of a break, you have to still be connected. You have to still be
Right.
uh available, because you're getting a break from whatever it is, but you don't need to break from just conversation.
You still got responsibilities, and even if you gotta take a little bit of time away from the kids or whatever, because don't get me wrong, I feel like every parent needs to take some time away from their kids, because your relationship with your kids can be one of the most toxic relationships you be in, because the only thing that you do in your relationship with your kids is give.
Yeah.
You give and give and give. And don't get me wrong, you brought them into this world. Ain't nobody tell you to have no kids or nothing like that. But at the same time, once you have them, that doesn't mean that you deserve any less of time to yourself. However, you should have made the appropriate preparations to say, hey, I'm taking a little bit of a break right now, but in however many days, weeks. I'm coming back and I'm gonna take the kids over for this amount of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just make the proper preparations in order to make sure the kids is straight. Cause like when I think about single mothers, like it was just a chick recently, a young lady recently that drove into traffic purposefully and committed suicide because she would the stress of being a single mother of two children was weighing down on her. And the sad part about the entire situation is every time I saw a post about it, everybody was sitting there and blaming her for being a single mother. No, like I didn't see a lot of accountability for the fact that the kid's father was not there. And that's what I mean by, in a lot of cases, the father has the luxury to just do whatever the fuck he want to do. He can move on and start a whole nother family. But that woman, number one, the love that a mother has for a child is unfucking matched. I don't care what dads feel for their kids. I'm sorry. What the love that a mother feels for her child is unmatched. There is nothing in this world like a mother's love. Nothing better in this world than a mother's love. That is number one. So when it comes down to a mother's love, she is going to put everything, her all, like every fucking ounce of her life into making sure her children is okay. Like every single ounce of her life, she will literally die making sure her children are okay. But there have been times, like even for myself, and don't get me wrong, I have a really good support system, I have a really good village, but there have been times even for myself where I've thought maybe Ja would be better off without me. Like I've had those thoughts, so I knew what she was going through. So in situations like that, like a lot of times people sit and be like, "Oh, well, moms are strong, single mothers are strong." And don't get me wrong, yeah, single mothers are strong, but at the same time, like that is something that we should not be wearing as a badge of honor, because then it's kind of like when it comes down to single mothers, we're preaching a lot now about black men protecting their mental health and taking care of themselves mentally, which is all fine and good, but we have a bigger issue with black mothers actually not being able to get the break that they need, especially black single mothers, the ones that don't have a village, the ones that don't have somebody getting their child every single Sunday or every other Tuesday and Thursday or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of times they don't have the means to go and get the help that they need.
Yeah.
So we out here struggling, like the whole community struggling right now. But when it comes down to it, like I've seen more black fathers walk away from their kids than I have seen mothers walk away from their kids.
Yeah. We've seen that. We've seen a lot of that. Um. I don't know. I guess a lot of people just don't see active fathers enough
Enough.
to really grasp what it is that they hold near and dear to themselves.
Right.
Because I get that a mother's love and a mother will die for their children, and it's like, and this is not a competition, but it's just actually understanding that there are fathers who breaking their backs. Not saying no mother isn't,
Right.
but I'm
And I
saying
definitely agree.
when the whole family is there, there are fathers who break their back. There are fathers who won't even see their kids just to make sure that they'll provide for them. They're in the same household. My own situation. I didn't see my father at all, but my father loved me enough to say, "Hey, this is how I know how to provide for my family. I know I'm gonna
And
have
I
to take
and I
that
don't disagree
sacrifice."
with that, but what I'm saying is, let me put it this way. When a Most of the time when a mother finds out, when a woman finds out that she is pregnant and she's expecting a child, the moment that she sees positive, after she goes into shock, her first expression is love for that child. The moment. Like I the moment. Like I'm never saying that dads aren't they don't love their kids, they wouldn't die for their kids, blase blase. But what I am saying is, if the daddies weren't around, in in most cases, if the daddies are not around, the mothers are going to do it. And even when the dads are around, every single thing that the father is not doing, guess who the responsibility lies with? When I say that a mother will literally, like, we've seen time and time again, all of the movies, all of the stories that's been written about single
Especially
mothers,
by Tyler Perry.
kids, especially by Tyler Perry. Kid, folks making it out the hood. The mamas is the ones that the boys is. I'm about to take care of my mama, cause I done watched her work 3 jobs by herself, raising these kids, doing everything she got to do. She made sure she still sat at the table and did homework with us. Blase, blase. What I'm saying is, a mother will literally, like, when I say we give our lives for our kids, number one, when we in childbirth, we are literally sacrificing our bodies and our lives. Black women have a higher rate of mortality than any other woman on this earth. We are literally out here dying to bear you all's children, to bear the children of black men. And we are being left with the responsibility of raising those children that we've either, like, almost died from giving birth. A lot of times, like, don't get me wrong, sometimes the dads do step up if the woman has died during childbirth, but at the same time that woman's family ends up having to step up. Like, when I say we're literally giving our lives, that's what I mean by giving our lives. Yeah, I know a lot of people joke around and say, well, we carry the kids around our whole life. Yeah, y'all carry them motherfuckers in y'all nutsack, but they not altering your organs for 10 months. They not causing you nausea. They not causing you to be extra tired. They not causing none of the bodily harm that it causes us.
Do you think people, when it comes down to that alone, talking about the things that you go through with, uh developing a child, it's like it's wrong to leave somebody in that situation.
Hell
It's
yeah.
fucked up.
It's absolutely wrong to leave somebody in that situation. And no, let me not say that. It is not wrong to end a relationship in that situation. It is not. And the reason why I say that is because there are there are times and extreme measures when sometimes you just got to end
Well,
the
no, we not
relationship.
talking about the relationship. We just talking about
But
the
like,
presence of being there
the
throughout the process.
presence, you need to be for every step of the way, all fucking 9 months. You need all 40 weeks, so that's technically 10 months. All 40 fucking weeks, you need to be there. Every doctor's appointment, you need to be there. Every fucking thing. If you're not there during that, with the exception of her just telling you, well, I don't want you around, blase, blase, blase. If she's saying, hey, I need you, you need to be there because you helped create that.
Right. And I guess it always just it does uh sway between relationships because it's like I think of possibly how my father had to go through his situation with my mom, and it was like, hey, I have to leave to prepare for this child financially, and it was a different time zone too because the access to that person was completely different. So I don't know how he was feeling being gone from not being able to go to doctor's appointments and not being able to be there day in night out, to see his kids. But I know
I mean,
it's the partnership.
and
I
in
think.
that aspect, yeah, it's definitely the partnership. I'm not necessarily saying, like, what I'm saying is, in a lot of instances when a motherfucker decide, and don't get me wrong, if y'all have had a conversation up front and y'all are like, hey, you know, dude come and say, I don't want no kids. Like, I know this is a really that's a really touchy subject to really have, because I've seen situations where I've agreed with, like, saying if a dude came to you up front and said, "Hey, I want you to have an abortion. We don't want this kid," but then you decide that you still want to have that baby because your body, your choice. How can we be mad at that man and say, "Hey, he don't want to take care of his responsibilities," but at this point he gave you the option to not even have that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gave you that option to not have that responsibility. But women can also go and have an abortion without discussing it with that man. And in cases like men, I've talked to men where they're like, "Man, I found out that my lady was pregnant, but she went and had an abortion and didn't tell me anything."
Mhm.
And that's some hurtful shit, especially for men that want kids, but they don't have no
But
say
then
so
they
in
they
that.
have the women have the support behind them that says your body, your choice from men and women. It's like
It's like
there's
it's like a
not
double-edged
there's not
sword.
it's not even a discussion about what does the other person feel, because the way you said that this is she's carrying his child, then it's like we need to make decisions together.
Right.
Together, if we're dating together
If
or
y'all
if we're
single,
single, we need
like,
to make decisions
yeah.
together. But when you do it by yourself, that selfish as hell. And at the end of the day, you're still getting applaud for making the decision for yourself.
Right.
And that's the messed up part that people
It's like
deal with.
it really is a double-edged sword.
But
But if both of y'all have agreed that the baby is sticking around, if the both of you have agreed that the baby's sticking around, then yeah, you definitely need to be in a place of, we taking care of it. Like, it's a touchy subject. Don't get me wrong, and it's tricky when it all comes down to it. But I do feel bad for men in certain situations, especially when they're like, "I don't. This is not something that I want." And we know that we have an option to take care of it. But then she's like, "Oh no, I'm having this baby." Well, now he's stuck with that motherfucker whether he want it or not.
yeah,
And you gotta pay for it. And then, like, it ain't
and then
in a
it
lot
goes
of
back
states,
to
it's not
blame, saying you shouldn't have
right.
laid down.
You shouldn't have laid down with them, blase blase. But then when women become single mothers, it's still the blame. Well, you knew that he didn't want the
But I
baby.
I think that's what Kevin Samuels mainly speaks about. Is like, hey,
Man, I ain't talking about that man no more.
well, all I'm saying is that was his whole premise in the beginning was, hey, even though you are in the situation, it was still your choice to follow through with it. That's all I'm saying about
Right.
that. So he was like, you chose, certain aspects depending on, your story.
I feel like that. I kind of feel like that's the take that I have on it. I know for me, abortion has never been something that, for me personally, I've been okay with. Now, I don't give a shit what other people decide to do. Like, that's your body. Do whatever the fuck you feel is best. You know what I'm saying? But for me, abortion just was never an option for me, and that's just my personal preference. So when it came down to it, it was kind of like when I had my kid, if her dad decided that he didn't want to be involved, I wasn't going to, like, the one thing that I knew I wasn't going to do, I wasn't going to put him on child support. I wasn't, and don't get me wrong, he wanted a kid, so he never ever suggested an abortion or anything like that. But it was just the simple fact of, I know people sometimes switch up once the baby get here, and if it ever came down to it where I didn't have the support from him, like, my thing was, shit, I was cool with being a single mom. I know that a lot of people don't, like, I know a lot of men ain't really down with, dealing with single mothers, but
Hmm.
for the sake of my kid, I'd have been okay with just being, a single mom. Like,
Yeah.
we gonna do everything together, fam. We're gonna kick it.
So, all right, kind of to a lighter subject. Do you think the fact that men are becoming more aware of the double standards in the world and they tired of it? Do you think that's a good thing for us as men and that we're voicing it? Because even when we voice it, women are saying y'all acting like bitches now, or y'all want to be the bitches. And I seen a meme, and I'm gonna post it. I don't give a damn. It said, "You want me to chase you and pay your bills? Fuck no." I said, "That's a good meme." Because a lot of people want you to do those two things.
Well, you already know what women gonna say in response to that.
I don't give a shit.
I ain't even getting into that. But
They be trying to light my ass up.
man, they be it the shit. I swear, if y'all don't hear nothing else that I say tonight, please know, especially to all of the females that be getting offended by his post, I sit back and laugh at y'all asses, like dead ass. Like, and I will send him a text message and be like, damn, you really didn't got them pissed off today, huh? The shit is funny because he say the shit just to get up under y'all skin. Like,
But I said
with
with no
no
intent.
opinion at all. Like, you don't even post your opinion. You just make a statement and motherfuckers just run with it. And I be like, ha ha ha, y'all funny. But yeah. But I mean, I feel like I said, I mean, I just feel like when it comes to black men specifically, the system is definitely not set up for y'all to survive or succeed. So, in that, though everybody, a lot of people is like, oh, protect black men, protect their mental health and all of that shit. Like, now that y'all
Not you
are,
said all of that shit.
what you mean?
No, it was just the way you said it.
Well, I'm just saying, motherfuckers be fake concerned. So that's why I was like all
No,
that shit. But, uh, like, I just really feel like now that y'all are becoming more vulnerable, because men are now opening up more. They're showing their emotion more, and that's something that for a long time women have asked of men.
and y'all get it, and then it's like,
I
damn,
mean, how many times do I have to tell you women don't know what the fuck they want? Have I not said that before? I
you
feel like I
have,
done said that
you've
several times on
had,
the podcast
you've
before.
had, but it's like, yo,
Women
yo,
don't know what the fuck they want. That's just like the whole, oh, I want you to tell me the time and to just get ready
oh
and
man,
I'ma do it.
and then
And
it
then as
becomes
soon as
red
it do it,
flags.
it's a red fucking flag. Oh, he wasn't considerate of your time. How he know that you ain't have nothing planned. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Like, women don't know what the fuck they want.
Yeah,
I feel like more women need platonic male friends
yeah, I think
because
they do because it's like I'm gonna show you where you're being.
having homeboys, like, that was one of the best fucking decisions I ever made in my life. Don't get me wrong. Now that I'm grown, like, I want more female friends,
Yeah.
but I'm very selective of my female friends. Cause like a lot of people that I be seeing around, I be like, y'all on that bullshit. But
Mhm.
like having male friends has taught me a lot about myself because it's kind of like I'll come to you and I'll be like, hey man, this shit, this shit, this shit. And you be like, well,
That shit. That shit. That
that
shit.
shit,
That
that shit, that
shit.
shit. Look at it from this perspective. This, that, and the third. And I'm kind of like, all right, you about right. I be like, man, fuck that shit, but
The
you
same with
right.
me.
Yeah,
We the devil's advocate shit. Cause anytime we mention something to each other, it's gonna be devil's
it's gonna be
advocate.
devil's advocate. We always like it's never me and him just saying, oh yeah. Well, sometimes we will say
Sometimes
yeah.
when it's just like it is what it
When it's
is.
just it is what it is. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, that motherfucker tripping. But a lot of times it's all right, bro. Look at it this way, bro. Maybe it's this. And
That
in
shit be
that,
annoying.
like when you have a male's perspective and it's a platonic male's perspective. Like I had an ex that used to have an issue with me coming to you and talking to you about things that I struggled with in my relationship because he wanted to be the one to be like, "Oh, this is the problem," and I just pick it up and run with it and fix it. but it was like, okay, well, the way that he was presenting it to me, I wasn't fully comprehending. So in order for me to comprehend what the fuck was going on, and in order for me to properly fix it, I was going to the closest male that I knew I could talk to that was gonna be as real and as honest with me about it. And it was just kind of like, you know, hey fam, this what it is. You give me your feedback, and then I go back to them and be like, okay, I see what you were saying now. I
Yeah.
better understand it now. And like platonic male friends, man. And even if you don't have a platonic male friend, like if you got a brother or something, like big brothers should be hipping you to the game. Low key.
And
Like they
right,
should
if you
really
have
be
a big
hipping you
brother,
to
there's
the
no
game.
reason why. I mean, you might fall into some shit because of your own want or your own desire,
Right.
but you already know ahead of time. You should know ahead of time what's the
Like
possibility that could happen if you got an older brother.
like me and my brother, we as we got older, as we grew up together, like me and him used to fight all the time because we were so close in age. So
Hmm.
it was, I mean, we 11 months apart. We almost felt like the same damn age. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really feel much like a big brother. But like now that we're adults, I've realized that he's experienced a lot of shit that I ain't experienced. So when I'm having issues or whatever, like if I don't talk to you about it, and I might talk to you about it, but I'm like, man, fuck that shit. I need another opinion or some shit like that. Then yeah, I'm gonna go to my big brother, or I might go to him first and be like, hey fam, so personal question. This what's going on, and I don't go into too much detail because he don't be wanting to know a whole bunch of shit about my personal life and everything like that. But big brothers are supposed to, especially for females, big brothers are supposed to hip you to the game. And if your big brother is acting overprotective for any damn reason, bro, take heed to that shit because niggas know niggas.
Yeah,
And the one thing I know about women is
y'all gonna
we
fall
don't
for
know
some
we
niggas
don't know shit about niggas, and we gonna fall for the okey doke every fucking time.
because it be the potential y'all grasp and just don't let
That
go of.
motherfucking me potential.
It be like this nigga ain't took you on one date. He ain't called you. He ain't sent you a good morning text.
That motherfucking me
He'll
potential.
he'll hit you up in the beginning of the week, and then you won't hear from him till the weekend. It's like, bro, the signs are there. How many times I gotta tell you stop?
Just
It's just the potential that things will change, and a lot of women be hoping they pussy change a man. Why? Why? Why do
that's
you?
the
Why do
that's the
women think?
dumbest thing
Because
to
a
even
lot of
think.
women lead with sex, and that's the fucked up part. Is men get a lot of blame, but when you leading with sex, when you actually want a relationship, you putting yourself in a bad spot. Stop doing that. Stop.
But can a woman hold out and still get a relationship?
It probably can't. I mean, it's probably it's all up in the air. But the thing is, it's like
I think that's the biggest problem. Everything is all up in the air, and so people are really in this place of not wanting to take that risk.
but this is the deal. You have to go in understanding that it's up in the air. Nobody has to follow through with the relationship. Nobody has to stick around. It's all about you, how you making somebody feel and how they want to still stick around with that. Stick around
I
by
feel
that.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Because men go through it. That's what men are talking about when they like, man, I ain't trying to take you out on no date. You know what I'm saying? Like that bullshit. It's like I don't want to waste my money and you sitting here deciding if you want to
I
fuck with
like.
me or not.
I personally like to make first dates like something that we can do for free. Like meet me at the park, and we can go
But
chill at the park
but
and talk and shit
that's
like that.
the deal. It's like men who don't understand that feel pressure of saying, hey, I gotta take her somewhere nice, take her to somewhere to eat. You have to spend money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First of all, if you're not ready to spend a little bit of something, don't date nobody yet. And I say that
Ain't
because you
that
still
ain't
have to
that
do
something Kevin
gas.
Samuels just recently was telling niggas?
Probably, but it's like that. You have to drive,
You gotta
or
drive. You
you
gotta do
gotta ride the
something.
bus. You still gotta pay for the bus pass.
Man, go get me a little 99-cent Frosty. Wait, is Frosty still 99 cents at
I ain't
Wendy's?
never had. I don't eat
Bro,
frosted like that. But
man, go get me some ice cream,
but
like
that's
a little
that's
ice
the deal,
cream.
man.
Take
It's
me for a
like
walk in the park. Or even if, man, we ain't even gotta have no ice cream. I bring my own bottle of water or something. We go
But
for. Hey, I saw that post about going to the gym as a first date.
oh yeah, they ain't like that shit.
They ain't like that. They was like, you better not. I don't
They was
even like
like,
working out. I like
yeah,
eating.
and it's
I like
like,
eating too, but low key, if a dude asks me to go to the gym on the first date, like my first thought is not that he thinks I'm fat. My first thought is, okay, this is something that he enjoys doing, number one. And if I'm trying to get to know somebody, I want to at least try something that you enjoy doing. Now, don't get me wrong. I know sometimes at the gym you can't really talk to people. Some people like to just kind of be in their own little zone while they at the gym working out or whatever. But
but the
like,
same. And I'm gonna be honest. The same can go for eating. A lot of fat folks don't want to talk while they eat. They want their elbow room and they want their plate.
facts, like sit on the
Don't
other side of the
like
table.
yeah.
Don't sit
Don't.
right next to me. Sit on the other side of the table. Cause bro, I'm about to get
And
like
then
this
and
and I'm about to
then
grub.
and then folks don't trip when they talk about going to a movie for a date. You're not supposed to be
You
talking
ain't
in a
talking in the
movie.
movie.
So then, what's the
That's
actual
cause
date? You
that's
something
cause
free.
motherfuckers cool with giving out hand jobs in the movie. That's all that is. Oh
There's nothing
man.
wrong with that either.
I enjoyed
But
that pause. I enjoyed that. Cause I know exactly what went through your mind.
there's
I
nothing
can't
wrong with
stand
that.
you.
But anyway, like I'm saying though, it's and then when they said, "Well, if you just want to do some cheap shit," it's like, damn, that's not cheap.
That's not
That's
cheap.
I'm getting to know you. I've talked to you on the phone. Now I'm trying to see how you are outside of
Right.
over the phone conversations. How do you interact in person?
Shoot, I go to the gym and then get me a smoothie afterwards. Give me a nice little
A
protein shake or
smoothie,
something.
and then you still getting something to eat. You probably getting something healthy to eat. And you like, nah, I don't want that. Like, bro, now you been picky with the date. Now it's like, really,
Shoot.
fuck you. I don't want to do it. So,
Cause the next day we might be going and doing yoga or something. Like, bro.
and
I
then it's
mean,
like,
I
if
feel
you did
like
the gym, I'm gonna do something you want to do,
right. And I think that's the thing.
then that shows you consideration. A person is considerate of what you want to do or what you find fun. And I might not like it. You might want,
I hate going to the gym.
you might like plays. I don't like plays. If I don't like plays, but I'm gonna buy a ticket to go to a play, I want to see how that makes you feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's you want us to be gentlemen. We become gentlemen, but we also have some type of leadership style in that gentleman role, and now there's pushback for doing that. It's like, God damn, you
Y'all
just
can't
don't
win
know
for
what y'all want.
losing. I told you. I'm always saying women don't know what the fuck they want.
But I don't know. I just think full circle, men are coming to the realization that they have a viewpoint in something and it should be heard.
Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes this might be stupid as fuck.
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
sometimes it makes sense
Cause
and it's not meant to
man,
be
sometimes
said.
you motherfuckers is just retarded as
And
fuck.
sometimes you spot on, but you know, all right, man. I think that's pretty much that's good for the day.
That's good for the day.
Yeah, man. I know you gotta get past your bedtime, and you
Man,
gotta go ahead and fall out and go to sleep. So I know
absolutely.
they need to check out our post coming up to see our viewpoints on some of the things we didn't talk about tonight,
Yeah.
and then just get some feedback, man, and figure out how we can do better, how we can do better as fathers who need a mental break, who still have kids, how we can do better with, if we're not with our baby mothers during the pregnancy, what do we need to do to be there? Of course, that's the varies, but
It
still
varies,
some
yeah.
insightful responses is necessary, and just things like that. So yeah, we're gonna try and get some feedback and figure out how we can how us men can be better. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else
I
you
mean,
got?
I'm sure, I ain't even gonna say I'm sure. I fucking know, I'm 1000% sure that women need feedback on how they can be better too. So, yeah.
Shit, taking it in. Anyway,
You know, hey, before we go though, I do want to say one thing. If a woman asks a man, cause I know I see it a lot where men be like, well, I don't really open up to my woman and tell her what's wrong, cause she gonna turn around and use it against me later. Okay, number one, that's not how you have a relationship. That's not how you have a relationship, fellas. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that now. That's not how you have a relationship. But also, ladies, if you are one of those women that turn around and use whatever the fuck they just said against them, that's not how you have a relationship. Because if you want that motherfucker to be vulnerable with you and to be open with you and to talk to you about shit that's bothering him or shit that's going on with him and being all emotional and shit, god damn it, don't turn around and use and weaponize it against him. Because that's what's going to always cause him to shut down or move the fuck on to a woman that fucking appreciates his vulnerability.
White
All right, on that note,
women.
that was his truth.
And that was her truth.
And somewhere in there, except for that last part, is
It's
the
the
real
real truth.
truth. We'll holler at y'all
Later.
later.